Testing. Can you guys hear me? Oh, sorry. I'm watching my stream right now. Anyways, hey, how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a good day. Still don't know why this glitch is happening, but I wanted to come on here and play Balatro and also talk about a few things. So first off, this is going to be pretty short, but the first thing I want to talk about is that, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. The first thing I want to talk about is the situation regarding me and Uniloud. That has been resolved. So, a few people in Ray's Discord, like Sniffy, Ray, Deb, and a few other people, they were talking to me about Uni, talking to me about how I can't force him to change, even though there are certain things about him I wish would have changed about him. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I can't push change on the guy, even though I've known him for 11 years. And the reason why you're not hearing the audio is because I want you guys to hear me. So, they were saying that, you should lead by example, and if you're doing or saying a specific thing, then Uni would pick up on that, and that would help him change for the better, for the worst. So, yeah, and I'm going to be taking that advice to heart. And then they said to me that if he ever brings up the Hello Kello 8 situation again, to just ignore him. Like, you can tell him like once or twice to stop, but if it becomes an ongoing thing, because they're sick and tired of the fights that me and him have on the Discord. So they were saying to me that if he continuously talks about it, because he wants the reaction, and that's why he continuously talks about it. And you're feeding into that by reacting. So, if he does talk about it again, just ignore him. And eventually he'll stop on his own. Like, you can only teach him so much, but there are certain things he has to learn to do on his own. But I took that advice to heart, and going forward, I am not going to offer him any more advice in that avenue. Because by doing so, it's just going to hurt me mentally and emotionally, and I don't need that kind of heat. So, yeah. But things are better between the two of us. We apologize. We made amends. Everything's good between the two of us. But I want to focus this video strictly on the title. And it's on my thoughts on Bill Jensen. Hey, Epic Trash Can. And Liquid Phoenix. No, I turned the audio off. Or you know what? Maybe I'll turn it on. But I will lower it so that way you guys can hear me better. Look. Before we get to the present, I want to focus on the past. And how I came across Bill Jensen. So I found out about Bill Jensen roughly around 2019. Back when Shark Puppet did a talent show. And this random guy, who I didn't know at the time, he hopped into that stream and was saying all this stuff about, oh, Bill's gay, Bill's gay, Bill's gay. And then he was talking to Shark Puppet about a hotline, saying, you disrespected me on my hotline, and you expect to just get away with it, and a lot of this other stuff. So I watched more and more videos because I wanted to know who this Bill guy was. And I found out that his name was Bill Jensen. And Bill Jensen is the creator of this thing known as the Christianity Hotline, where he would convert people to Christianity and just spread the faith of the religion. And I wanted to get on his Instagram for years because there were certain situations that I was in, and I thought that by talking to Bill that maybe he could help me. Like at the time, let me give you a good scenario. So the one situation that I was in at the time was there was an old friend that I had known since kindergarten, and we had not talked in a long time. And I texted her. I wanted to catch up with her, just see how she was doing, blah, blah, blah. And then her now ex-boyfriend, he got all defensive and overprotective, threatening to knock me out if I ever talked to her again. And college was starting up soon. And I got nervous because I thought I would see her, see him, or both of them. And I had anxiety because I didn't need that kind of heat. And that's why I was shaken. But then I did talk to her. And then, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. And then she said that it was late at night and blah, 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 blah. And that's why he was a bit upset. I tried talking to him on Snapchat, and he said, I don't want to get to know you and leave me alone. And that hurt me. And the reason why I wanted to get called into Bill's Instagram is because I thought that maybe he could help me. Maybe he could give me a little bit of guidance. Maybe a little bit of, maybe advice from like a religious standpoint. And so I'm so stressed I can't even think right now. Let's do this one. And of course, I never got called into Bill's streams. Well, I got called in on his YouTube streams, but never on Instagram. And then at the time, because of my old name, I did a little bit of trolling on Bill's streams. I would just have a little fun because I thought it was funny whenever I would hear him yell, and present day do his eagle scream over the media shares and whatnot. And I thought I'd mess with him a little bit. And there were times when I did talk to Bill just to troll him a little bit, like on Discord. There were a couple of instances when I ran into him on Omegle, and that was all fun and good. And Bill just hated me. He hated this troll that I was towards him. He threatened to fine me and the whole 9 yards. And it was pretty funny. And I've been known for many things. Like the trolling I often did in Bill's streams. Hell, a lot of people really like my Bill Jensen impression. I've done it on the Waffle Pone streams a few times. Sometimes you guys even hear my Bill impression on stream. And Bill Jensen is well. Here's the thing. I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that. Bill Jensen got the inspiration of the Buddhism hotline, and think about this. Like, the one thing I do like about Bill is the fact that he had the opportunity to collaborate with so many different people over the years. You know, he got to collab with McJuggernuggets 3 times, trying to confront his dad on the video games. And then he was part of the Devil Inside series. And that was all fun and good. Yeah, I know you guys can hear the gameplay, but I have it muted on my end because I just want to talk. So, like, when it comes to Bill, because he couldn't take how the people were treating him on the streams, he decided to come on to Instagram. This was, surprisingly, New Year's Day of 2020, where he went on Instagram and he said, "My name is Shane and I'm an actor. I created this character named Bill Jensen, who is this strict Christian guy who just wants to spread the faith and belief of Christianity." And I feel like ever since Shane came out and admitted that Bill was a character, I feel like that was the start of the decline of Bill Jensen. Like, even though he's a character, and a lot of people want to say that he has broken character many, many times, I feel like there's a lot of truth to his character. And like him or hate him, he's a very entertaining individual. Like, I feel like he has changed me as a person. Like, before, I would troll him on his streams. I would send in sinful media shares. I would do a lot of different things just to kind of push his buttons every now and then. But after I heard about all the things that happened to him and his family, that's when I was like, well, let me rephrase that. After I heard about a lot of the things that happened with him and his family, and then he took a break from YouTube, and then he came back, and this was back when he was still monetized. I was like, man, I feel bad for you. I know that in the past I would troll you with media shares and whatnot, and with ear rape, but I feel sorry for you. So I'm going to go on ahead and gift you memberships. And he was happy, and he was surprised. He said to me, "Look, man, I know we haven't seen eye to eye, but I'm going to make you a moderator for my streams." And so the moderation thing, that was Bill's idea. It wasn't Shinotu's, it wasn't any of the other mods' ideas. It was Bill's. Because he saw the good in me. He saw that I have a change of heart and I'm a good person. I'm trying to demonstrate that to Bill. And I feel bad for all the things that people do and say to him, like, And because Char17X thinks that I bring this up without context, here's a bit of context to what I'm about to say. Okay? So there are like so many different people who say many different things. They send in many different things to upset Bill. Like, they send in horrible media shares with blood, gore, Ronnie McKnight. They talk about Bill's family. They threaten to dox him. They have doxed him. They've swatted him. They say horrible, horrible things about his niece. And it just doesn't stop. And there's your context. And then a lot of people over the years have hated me as a as a moderator. I am one with Bill Jensen's community. Because here's the thing. With Bill Jensen, like, even though there are some people who have their opinions of me, his community helped me out of a really depressing situation. That, of course, being with Waffle Pone. Because of how they would constantly bother me and bully me and harass me. All because of lots of different things. You know, the license situation, me being unemployed at the time, and a lot of other things. They've had more than their fair share of problems with me. So I'm losing my train of thought here, so just bear with me while I think. And I felt like with Bill Jensen's community, they didn't care about what I did have or don't have. They don't care if I have my license or not. They just care about me as a person, and they care about how I treat Bill and his community. That's it. And I know I'm not acknowledging the chat right now. It's just I'm explaining my perspective of Bill Jensen. Anyway. And don't worry, you guys will be acknowledged after I'm done speaking. So, let me turn up the volume a little bit so you guys can hear the gameplay and me. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry, I'm just trying to think here about what I want to do. Alright. And I feel like over the years, people have hated me as a media share. I keep saying media share. They don't like me as a mod for Bill's streams. Like, I'm trying my best, okay? Like, I get that I'm not the best mod, okay? I'm trying my best. Okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But for you to be shaming me like this, like, there's only so much I can do as a moderator. Okay? I'm telling you right now. There's so much I can do as a moderator. And like, a lot of people were saying things about me. Oh, you're a terrible mod. 63%, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to get to that too. And I made the announcement at Bill's Discord as well. So, the whole 63% thing is because of two things. So, I've mentioned this story many times. I'll bring it up again. So, there was a stream that Bill did months ago where Super King, he is pretty well known in the Waffle Pone community, and not in the good way. He said a horrible thing about me and kids, and that's why I got fired from my one job. And then Bill asked if it was true. Obviously, I told him the answer was no, and it was just a horrible lie that Super King made about me. Yeah, it was just a horrible lie that Super King made about me. I spammed in his DMs telling him to kill himself because of what he said about me. And then he was saying all this stuff about, oh, I have proved that you did this, blah, 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 blah. And then if you hang up the call, a bomb is going to go off. And I obviously didn't believe him. So I hung up anyway. And then moments later, Bill did a stream where he was playing What the Dub. And in that stream, I knew it was Super King because nobody else decided to do this. He exposed me on that stream, saying that I told him to off himself. And then because I did that, awareness was raised, questions were asked, it was a whole thing. And then I had to provide context to Bill, saying, yes, I did say that, but it was towards Super King because he made up a disgusting lie about me, saying I did things to kids and that's why I got fired. And yes, I'm keeping this stream up. And then Bill said, you know, I understand why you did it, but it wasn't very necessary. It was a bit harsh of you to say what you said to him. And then because of that, a lot of people were saying things about me like, oh, that's not very mod-like of you to say that. You need your mod role stripped. And then I posted a poll, and this is where the 63% thing comes from. I posted a poll on Bill's Discord asking him, or asking the people in there, should I be forgiven and still be a moderator? 63% of people said no, that I should have my mod role stripped. And that is where the 63% thing comes from. Because of these people. So I'm just doing re-rolls so that way I can level up this mold. Okay, there we go. Alright, so anyway. And then I got depressed because I thought I was doing a relatively good job as a moderator. Not a lot of people really saw that. So I took my leave. And then eventually, yes, I did come back. And Bill gave me that opportunity to redeem myself. So then I came back. Of course, I was only a moderator for the YouTube streams. I wasn't back to being a Discord mod. And that was okay. I didn't really care. I didn't care that I was just a moderator for the YouTube streams. It felt like it would be a bit overwhelming. It'd be a burden for me to be a moderator on the Discord again. And then this Andrea's group that Bill calls a cult, they've been saying a lot of things about Bill. Like, they keep on spamming, address the allegations, you show all these things to kids, and I want to keep this stream up, so I'm not going to go too in-depth about what they say, but let's just say if you know, you know. I'm not going to go too in-depth about that. But I've tried, like, I'm fast forwarding to present day. I've talked to Bill about this today. And I feel like, no offense to Bill, I feel like he's brushing off the situation. Like, I'm trying to tell Bill, look, you don't want these people on your ass. You don't want these people saying all these things about you. And look, I see your standpoint. I also see where they're coming from. Okay? I just want it to be handled. Okay? I want this nonsense to be resolved. And I said to Bill, look, you need media share mods. Me and Hugamal, we have volunteered many times to be a media share mod for your streams. We can go through the media shares and we can filter them all out, making sure that your streams start and end peacefully. And they have not been doing so because of these people. You have horrible, horrible people doing all these things to you, ruining and tarnishing your career on the internet. Is that what you want, Bill? Like, character or not, these people are going to say the same things over and over and over again about you. And all Bill can say is, YouTube's a soft platform. I've gotten I feel like the reason why he says that YouTube is a soft platform is because of all the times that he's gotten banned from the platform. I understand your frustration, Bill, but complaining about it isn't going to solve anything. It's going to make things worse. So it's with your interest and everybody else's interest that you please, that you please try to do something about this. You need a media share mod. And I made this announcement on Bill's Discord and on his stream, and I'm going to tell you guys the same exact thing. And I don't know how you guys are going to take it. I don't know if you guys are going to like it or hate it. But because of the backlash that I've been receiving, and with people constantly spamming 63% and just giving me a lot of negativity on my moderation for Bill's streams, I am stepping down as a moderator for the YouTube streams and the Discord and everything. Because let's face it, it's not worth it being a moderator anymore. It's not worth I am stepping down as a moderator. I'll still support the streams in any way that I can. But just the fact that I've been receiving a lot of backlash, and a lot of people, they either hate me for one of two reasons. They either A, want to jump me because of what I said to Super King, or number two, they want to jump me because of this, or they want to question my role as a moderator. And the only reason why I was strict is because I wanted to keep the peace. I wanted to make sure that Bill's streams went smoothly, that there were no sinners, nobody to piss him off, and that's why I was strict. I get not a lot of people like that side of me, and to those people, I'm sorry. And I feel bad for a lot of the people that have been a witness to everything that Bill has been accused of. I don't know if it's true or not. Like, all these people have said that, oh, they were minors and Bill introduced them to gore and this and that. And this is not a pre-recorded live. Okay, this is a real live in real time. I'm speaking from the heart. This is not scripted. I'm not using ChatGPT or anything like that to write out my feelings and thoughts about Bill. I am explaining things from my perspective and explaining like how I found out about Bill. And if I'm being honest, I have seen that decline in Bill Jensen. I've seen that decline in his streams, his personality, everything. Like, Bill went from this really, you want to talk about strict? Bill was a really, really strict Christian. I don't care if he was a character. His character was very, very strict. He yelled at people whenever they smoked, whenever they drank, whenever they cussed. And Bill is doing all these things that he hates that people have done. Like, in the past, he vaped. And he said many times the reason why he vaped the zero nicotine vapes. Because he thought by doing so, it would help him lose weight. And I feel like his weight has been going up and down like a yo-yo. Where sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And he said that lately, his health has been on a decline. His bones have been hurting more. He's been having panic attacks, frequent heart attacks. Like, his health is going on a decline. He feels like he's on the verge of death. All the constant screaming he's done over the years, yelling at people, he feels like it's taking a toll on him. And I genuinely feel bad for him in that avenue. But as a moderator, I feel like I've let Bill down. I let Bill down, I let you guys down. I just want to take this time right now to say that as a soon-to-be, I say soon-to-be because nothing has been put into effect yet, even though I already discussed it. But as a former moderator for Bill's streams, I am sorry. I am deeply sorry for the way that I've acted towards you guys. I wish things would have been better. And realizing what's going to be happening with Bill going forward, I don't know what this is going to mean for him as a streamer and as a content creator. I do hope that despite everything that went down, like, you guys don't have to like me, because I get it. You know, I'm not a liked person. Like, I've done and said more than my fair share of things to have people think differently of me. And I don't know why I think like this, but I have this mindset to where if I'm doing something wrong, then the people whom I have wronged will immediately hate me. I know that I really shouldn't be thinking like that. It's a very poor mentality for me to have, but I don't know, that's just how I feel sometimes. I feel like whenever I do something wrong, I let people down, they hate me, and they wish I was gone from this earth. And I get it, you know, everybody makes mistakes. You know, we're not all perfect. Mistakes are what make us human. But over the years, there were just so many things I hated about myself. And I often ask myself questions like, why am I the person that I am? Why do I do the things that I do? Why am I even on social media? There were times when I wanted to just disconnect myself from social media and just delete my presence on all platforms that I'm on. YouTube, Twitch, Discord, everywhere. Because I would constantly get bullied and harassed, and people would just make me question who I am as a person and who I am online. I'm not trying to make this about me. And a lot of people want to say that when it comes to Bill, he only cares about money. He doesn't care about his demographic. Even though a lot of people have been saying that Bill's demographic is targeted towards children. Even though I feel like his streams should be 18 plus because of the media shares and whatnot. And look at what Bill's done now. He doesn't like when people smoke. And yet, there have been times when he has smoked weed on stream. And I get it. I understand it. His justification is that he has a medical card. And he only does it to relieve stress. Listen. This is a bit of a dark subject. And I really don't like mentioning it. But I'll bring it up anyway. My father is an alcoholic. Of course, now he doesn't drink anymore because it took nearly a health scare for him and him nearly being in the hospital for him to snap out of it. But all I'm saying is drinking is not the answer. Smoking is not the answer. Doing drugs is not the answer. I've been straight edge for 27 years. And what being straight edge means, it means you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do drugs, you don't do anything like that. I don't need that kind of stuff in my life. I don't need to succumb to drugs and alcohol to feel free of stress and pain. Okay? If at any point I feel stressed or depressed, I always lean on my friends. I do whatever makes me happy. Whether I scroll on my phone, play games, whatever. Sometimes crying helps too. And I hate when people have this mindset where real men don't cry. Honestly though, if you have emotions, like if you are a human being, which obviously people are, you're a human being. And regardless of your gender, if you have emotions, let them out. Sometimes it feels good to cry. Because it shows you have feelings, you have a heart. And that's how I feel. And I feel like I can be a bit of an emotional person. I try not to be emotional. I try to be a bit more manly. But sometimes it's hard. Alright, I'm going to read the chat now. Hello, Epic Trash Can. Welcome to the stream. I just feel bad with Bill Jensen got something worse. Like, here's the thing. Let me set up my PS5 because I'm going to switch games now. I might play a little bit of Fortnite. But yeah, I feel bad for Bill too. Just with everything that has gone down with him and his streams and whatnot. Oh, sorry, my screen went black. I feel bad for him too. I hope things get better for him. But realizing the decline of his streams, I don't see that happening anytime soon. And all those people from Andrea's group that were spamming, 63%, big event happening tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I watched the video. I watched the video. You're probably asking yourselves why. I wanted to know what this so-called video is that people kept on talking about, would not shut the hell up about. But hold on a minute. Anyway, oh, like, Jace, everything's going fine. I'm taking this time right now to talk about my perspective on Bill Jensen and what I like about him and what I'm concerned about. So I saw the now, like I said, I want to keep this stream up, so I don't want to go too in depth about anything that has been talked about on the streams. So I'm going to try to simplify it, or try to abbreviate certain things. But yeah, right now I'm just talking about Bill Jensen. I'm talking about me resigning as a moderator for his streams for many reasons. And yeah. So I saw the video, and there were a lot of points that, and while I didn't really agree with a lot of the things that Andrea's group had said about Bill, there were a few points that they did make. Like, they were saying, like, Bill doesn't have a media share mod. For like the billionth time, they were saying that Bill shows stuff to kids and blah, blah, blah. And how he introduced kids to gore and, let's just say, NSFW. I'm not going to go into further detail than that. And then they were saying that Bill is homophobic, transphobic, he's a pedophile, and a lot of things. And then Bill has said many times that he's explained his side of the story many times. He's explained, if you that beat, that's my PS5. He's explained many times why he has said the things that he has said. And while they were wrong, while they were out of pocket, you know, he has changed. He's trying to change. Like I said, I feel bad, you know, like, and then I was trying to talk to Bill about the situation, and then he was saying things like, you know, I don't care, these people are just saying things to push my buttons, and blah, 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 blah. I don't agree with a lot of the things that people have said about. I don't agree with a lot of the things that people have said. I really don't. But I will admit, though, Bill should have taken accountability of his actions a long time ago. Maybe if he did that, then maybe these people would back off. Maybe they would finally leave him alone. But just the fact that he neglects to do so That's why these people are saying these things about him. And yeah. So yeah. Let me read the rest of the chat. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Bill Jensen got the inspiration from the Buddhism hotline. Now I don't know who started their hotlines first. I don't know if it was Jonathan Hills first or if it was Bill first. Hold on. I'm fixing my my capture card. The hell is this not working? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, it's not working. Hold on 1 second. Alright, there we go. So let me turn down my audio a little bit because I don't know why my microphone tends to pick up background noise pretty easily. So yeah, I don't know who started what, but I know that Bill has had beef with Jonathan Hills. So yeah. I mean, Bill even did a little diss track to Jonathan Hills and called him once. I thought it was pretty cool, pretty funny. So yeah. Like I said, I just knew this community is toxic. I mean, I don't think Bill's community is toxic. I just think that some of the people that are in his, or I just think some of the people who target Bill are the toxic ones. Like, I get it, you know. These people are trying to give Bill some criticism. They're trying to provide some feedback. You know, like, oh, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. You need help. You know, you need improvement. Yada yada yada. I agree. But badgering Bill about it isn't gonna help. Okay? Like, think about me and Uniloud. I badgered him for years, 11 years, to change and be better and do better. But you can only do so much. And pushing him to be better, you know, that's easier said than done, you know? I've dumbed down information for him. I've done this, done that, whatever, what. But yeah. So yeah. Do I believe in religion? I mean, I mean, I am a Lutheran, but I feel like my faith is like in the middle. Like, I felt like my grandmother, she believed in faith. She was a religious person, like I'd say moderately religious. I feel like my mom kind of has that kind of personality because of my grandmother. You know, she prays for miracles to happen and whatnot. There was a time when I cried because I felt like, you know, God is letting all these horrible things happen to me, you know, and is making people bully me and harass me and whatnot. And there were times when I felt like I hated God because I felt like, you know, there were times when I lost faith in the Lord. Because I was just thinking to myself, you know, if God truly does love his children, why does he let bad things happen to them? And I guess the reason why he does is so that way, you know, we can learn from these experiences, you know? Sure, you know, we wish we lived in a world where everything was perfect, no wrong happened, nothing bad were to happen. But if nothing bad happens to us, how can we learn anything? How can we learn from our mistakes? How can we learn from bad experiences if we only wish to see good rather than bad? You know? In life, there are going to be bad things. You're gonna... Yeah, I can't think and talk at the same time. You're going to deal with horrible people. You know? You can't live in a world where you expect everyone to like you. That's not how life works. That's not how society works. You just gotta learn to live with it. And I haven't been to church since the pandemic. And I do want to go back. But it's just been hard. I'm glad I retired from Bill. It was getting too toxic. I mean, like, Bill isn't a toxic person. Okay? And I feel like Andrea's group, well, a lot of the things they've done are illegal, like, where they've doxed his address a couple of times. Take that out of the equation. Their main purpose, while Bill has pushed them off and called them a cult, they were just trying to spread awareness to Bill. They were trying to help him as a person. They were trying to give Bill some honest criticism in hopes that he would take it and use that criticism as a means of being a better person, better content creator, better everything. Toxic, man, toxic community, like in the Buddhism hotline. I mean, I don't know too much about the Buddhism hotline. I mean, I have watched a couple of those streams, but not as much as I used to. Like, there's so many YouTube channels I've watched over the years, and lately I haven't watched them because I've been watching other channels, or I've noticed that they too have fallen off. Like, I used to watch Super Mario Logan. I feel like he has fallen off as a content creator. And I'm sure you guys have probably seen it too. Like, I feel like ever since Nintendo sent, they sent Logan a cease and desist email saying that he's using Nintendo characters poorly and as a means of defamation, that they'll file a lawsuit against him unless he stopped. That's why I noticed a decline in the series, because they had to use knockoff names for characters like Mario, Luigi, and Rosalina, and Junior, and Joseph, and Cody, and all these other characters that were well known on the Super Mario Logan videos. Shane even promoted his program to the BH community before he even started it. Well, I never knew that. So, you're telling me that while Bill has beef with Jonathan Hills, and he says that Buddhism is a fake religion and whatnot, he inspired him to do a hotline of his own, spreading the faith of Christianity. Okay then. Well, that's noted. Have you ever trolled Coppercap? No. I don't watch Coppercap streams. Maybe I will in the future. Like, I only know Coppercap because of the whole Gingers Have Souls video, which went viral on YouTube in like the late 2000s. I'd say between like sometime between 2007 and 2009. At this point, Shane probably is about to develop a split personality. I mean, back in 2020, when he admitted that Bill Jensen is a character, he did make that joke saying that, oh, I have a split personality. Because one minute you see this calm guy named Shane Boyle, and then the next minute you see this angry Christian named Bill Jensen. And think about it. Bill has collabed with many people over the years. He did 3 videos with McJuggernuggets. He has collaborated with Stephanie and Lucas, a lot of these TikTokers. Hell, he's had more than his fair share of beef with Waffle Pone. And who was the one who started this whole thing between Bill and Steven? Me. I was the one who started it. And here's how. There was a stream that Bill did back in 2022. Hold on, let me get this guy. Damn it! I thought I would have gotten it. So, sometimes it's hard for me to think or to talk and concentrate at the same time. So I'm just reading the chat. Oh yeah. So how I started this whole thing between Bill and Steven, Bill did a stream back in 2022 where he threatened to box Stephen Quire of Waffle Pone. And I donated on the Waffle Pone stream back when I was still a member and I was still well known in the community. I donated to Steven saying, hey Steven, you know Bill Jensen? He threatened to box you. He's like, let's do it, my guy. Come on, let's box. And it became this thing where, you know, Bill would talk about Steven on the streams. Steven would talk about Bill. And it was pretty funny how, like, the one time when Waffle Pone did a calling stream, I called in acting like Bill, and they believed it was Bill. And then when the real Bill Jensen called in, they thought it was me. And I was laughing my ass off, because I'm like, you were so gullible. You thought that the person who impersonated Bill was Bill. But then you thought that the real Bill Jensen was me. Am I typing ASMR? But since someone in the chat did ask about Waffle Pone, I will get to that too. Because I mentioned the story many times. You mentioned Waffle Pone, right? yeah, like there were some good moments and bad moments with Waffle Pone. Um, so yeah, and someone did ask a question about them, so I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. I just got here. Will there be a quick rundown? For those of you that are just tuning in, I'm just doing a little summarization on how I found out about Bill Jensen. So I found out about him from Shark Puppet, and I was talking about how I used to troll Bill Jensen and how his community, while a lot of people say it's toxic, it has helped me through some depressing times because of Waffle Pone and blah 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 blah. And I was talking about how I am resigning as a moderator for his streams because of many reasons, and I will explain them because again, because I have a lot more viewers on YouTube compared to Twitch. I don't think my Twitch viewers really know who Bill Jensen is, but my YouTube viewers do. To be fair, you want a good moderator. If I recall correctly, you abused your mod plenty of times. Best thing to do is just move on, not be a moderator. Well, here's the thing. I just said I'm stepping down as a moderator from Bill's streams. Now, I don't know if Shinotu or Bill or anybody, if they are going to acknowledge that fact and they're going to revoke my mod from his Discord and his YouTube. I mean, I still want to help Bill, and I still want to give him some support before he does decide to leave the internet. But just with all the backlash that I've been receiving, and with people continuously harassing me over the whole 63% bullshit, that's why I'm stepping down. And that's another thing too, you know, Bill was sensitive over people cursing, and yet if you've seen his streams now compared to then, you see that he has done more than his fair share of using profanity and gratuitous language on his streams. And that's okay, because, you know, I myself cuss, and I feel like I use profanity as a means of expressing myself. And while I could express myself in other ways, I feel like by me using profanity, it's a means of getting my point across. I feel like it's common sense to not tell anyone to harm themselves over internet drama. Completely unnecessary, since you can easily just block them. The criticism was completely justified. Look. I explained the story many times, okay? I get it was harsh. I get it was not very mod-like of me to tell Super King to off himself. And yes, while I didn't want to, because I don't forgive him for what he did to me. I can't think and talk at the same time. Not that good at multitasking. Oh no. I'll catch up with the chat in just a minute. Again, I'm sorry, I can't think and talk at the same time. It's just sometimes I can multitask, other times I can't. So yes, while it was harsh of me to say the things I said, and while I didn't want to do it, I did apologize to Super King for telling him to kill himself because of what he said to me. He himself said he understood why I said what I said. One second. Whatever. His justification was he did that to kind of give me a scenario that the people at Waffle Pone could say those disgusting things about me. So, yeah. And again, it was purely out of anger why I said to Super King. I'm just telling you guys that right now. Asa Flores found me from the stream. I don't like Asa Flores. He's one of the moderators on YouTube. He's one of the Waffle Pone moderators I can't stand. And there's so many moderators for the Waffle Pone streams I hate. Pace, Asa Flores, Saucy Boy, just to name a few that I cannot stand. So yeah. The group isn't called Andrea's. We refer to ourselves as Andrians. Andrea is completely justified in our war against Bill. Well, whatever you call yourselves, like, you guys won, okay? All those times you would say, Andrians won, Jensenites lost, you guys won. I hope you're happy with yourselves. You guys won because Bill is planning on leaving the internet real soon. He said that his health is on a decline. He realizes he's fallen off as a streamer and as a content creator. And for you guys to be talking about that over and over and over again, like, we get it. We get it. You made your point about Bill. Okay? Look. You guys want to see some DMs that I sent Bill? And I feel like normally if I were to, normally if, actually, you know what? I'm not going to show the DMs because I'll just, I'll try to abbreviate them the best I can. So, let me pull up the DMs right now. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to go to, like, today. I said, I know you don't want people to bring this up. I figured I would before the cult does. Forgive me, but I saw the video. People were saying you're homophobic, transphobic. You send all these videos to kids. You are well aware that children watch your content, and yet you still let these media shares stand. I don't want to take sides in any of this. I just want this all to stop. And so I sent them a link to the video. This is the video in question. Look, I know you aren't opposed to the idea, but if I were you, I would hire some media share mods ASAP if you want this cult off your back. And then I also talked to him about how he made a sexual comment to a minor. And he said, all of it is out of hate. I'm going to mute my microphone so you guys can hear me. All of it is out of hate. I've already explained my side. I don't care what anyone else thinks. You bringing it up to me makes it worse. I'm sorry, Bill. This community is just filled with low IQ. I'm just concerned. Idiotic, autism, that's all it is, who take everything overhanded. I understand. Look, I don't want to take sides on this. I just heard their side and I heard yours. I just hope something gets done. If it's no trouble to you at all, may I please be a media share mod? I can filter out the simple media shares people send in, and maybe I can send in a few of my own. There's not much for me to say. I've said things out of anger. I attempted to hide videos to get them off my back. Dude, stop. I'm about done streaming. Leaving the internet. I don't care. It's the internet. Not that anything I will say will help, but maybe it's best you do. Before you do leave the internet, if and when that time comes, I think it's best you do a final send-off stream. Just stop talking to me about this. Deal. Just know that the cult will keep attacking you, me, and the other mods unless something gets done. I have had these people hate raid my streams with the same messages, saying, "Big event tomorrow, Andrians won, Jensenites lost, 63%, you're a terrible mod, Bill shows these things to kids." Look, I don't want to get you any more upset than you already are, so I'll end the conversation here. For your sake, your mod's sake, and your community's sake, it's best you work long and hard about getting something done if you want all these people to leave you alone. Nothing personal, but if nothing gets done soon, I will unfortunately step down as your mod. I don't hate you, man. I never have, and I never will. I'm just concerned, that's all. Have a good day, and God bless. Dude, I've addressed my side the entire time. I said that thing, again, I'm abbreviating everything because I don't want to say anything too graphic that'll get my stream taken down. Anyway. What else? I said that thing out of what normal people say nowadays. I apologize for not being good enough or not doing good enough. Countless times I've said this. And that's good. It's not my fault idiots want to post horrific things on the internet. But the media share is what this cult are concerned about. The internet is a terrible place and will only get worse. And what I did, I fixed it. Hiding videos. Only playing those who I know can be trusted. They're blaming you for not doing anything about it. And they said you won't hire media share mods because you think YouTube is a soft platform. Nothing is good enough. Good. They're the new gen kids who want to push buttons. That's all it is. I ain't asked for young ones to watch. I know you don't want to, and trust me, I didn't want to either, but I think it's best you watch that video DJ Krabs posted. I'm not no Disney Corporation or Mr. Beast Kids channel. No, I'm not watching it. And after you watch it, you do a stream talking about your side of the video. And giving it watch time, what they want. I know me. My family knows me. That's all I care about. And people even said in that video, and again, I only watched it because I wanted to know what this event was that was being hyped up. They said you care more about money and less on the protection and safety of your viewers. You should put a tag saying that your streams are 18 plus because of the media shares. Yes, I am aware. Like I said, I'm probably done before I get myself canceled. What are you going to do once you end your social media career? With the years that have gone by, my health has been in decline. I'll be dead anyway. Will you still be active on other platforms? No, don't say that, man. No one wants you dead. That's why my personality has gone south. You're a great person. That's why I went this way. No, they're going to make me look evil. It's over. I expect great things from you going forward. They won. Don't let the sinners get to you. How many views does it have? Where's the Bill Jensen who was strong against these sinners? Now, they're right about letting bad things slide. Look, you already know my situation with Waffle Pone. You need to be strong, man. If I can, so can you. I thought I could do it all by myself. That's why bad things played. YouTube allows these videos. Where's the blame for them? I put the safety level to 40k views, expecting that's enough. How many views does the video have so far? The video has 208 views, by the way. And that's it. So the conversation started off with Bill not caring about what people have said about him and the media shares and the streams. But then it got to a point where Bill finally did take accountability for his actions. He understood that he's not a perfect person. He understood that the streams were going on a decline. He was going on a decline. His health was going on a decline. He realized the downfall of everything. his streams, his health, his career, everything. Ignoring Shadow Ward. Bro, stop. I was not intentionally ignoring the chat. It's just there was a lot that I needed to get off my chest, and that's why I ignored you guys. It's not a pre-recorded live. Detective Mike Hunt, BFPD, yeah, real original name. What are you, 12? If this were a pre-recorded live, I wouldn't have acknowledged your username right about now. Dagoth Your Gaming. Again, if this were a pre-recorded live, I wouldn't have said your name just now. Can anyone provide context? Did Bill do anything bad? Look, Bill has been accused of many different things. Him showing stuff to kids, him being a fake Christian, him doing all these different things, and he's brushed that off, saying that it was slander and naysay. But just today, he is finally taking accountability of his actions and is owning up to everything he has done. And he is working on trying to be a better person. And he says that this is the end. It's the end of the Christianity Hotline. It's the end of Bill Jensen. He said he's leaving the internet because his health is going on a decline. And he said that it's best if he just leaves the internet because, number one, he feels like people are going to cancel him. And number two, yeah, he feels like, number one, I'm going to get canceled. Number two, like, my health is going on a decline. I'm going to die soon anyway, so there's really no point in me continuing. And I genuinely feel bad for Bill, and I wish for nothing but the best for him going forward. Like, you guys can like him or hate him. Whatever your standpoint is on Bill, whatever your views are on Bill, don't treat him as a character. Treat him as a human being. Treat him as a person. Because you see how the streams have treated him. While it is funny hearing him scream and yell and hearing him do the eagle scream over certain media shares, I feel bad for him. Because he has suffered on the streams the same way I've suffered. From all these different people and all these different communities jumping my back, hurting me mentally and emotionally, making me feel like shit. And I feel like I'm taking a page out of Bill's book when it comes to my mental health. I feel like my mental health has gone up and down in terms of who I interact with and what goes on IRL and online. So, yeah. Bill didn't do any bad stuff. Look, I'm not saying that Bill did do anything wrong. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. I'm in the middle with this whole thing, this whole situation. What I want is for things to get better with Bill, his streams, his community, everybody. I was a part of Bill's community because I needed to get away from the Waffle Pone streams and the community because of how toxic they are. And the fact that Steven and Jack, who they run the show, they don't do anything about it. That's why I crashed out to them. That's why I've yelled at them and screamed at them. That's why I tried taking down their channel and the streams. To kind of show them, look, I'm pissed off at you guys and your community. And the fact that you guys don't do anything about handling toxicity, that raises concerns. And while Bill's mods, including myself, aren't perfect, we all have our flaws. We are at least trying to do our best. We are trying to do a better job with toxicity and putting these sinners in their place. He did, though. His inaction to moderate media shares, despite being warned of what's in the queue, has introduced minors to those stuff. Look, Bill is completely aware of everything he has done, alright? He has said, and I just read the DMs, he said that, like, it's not his fault that minors get introduced to his streams, okay? Like, it's the internet. In his mind, it's the internet, and minors will stumble upon anybody nowadays. They'll stumble upon kids' channels. They'll stumble upon content creators and streamers who are more suited for people ages 13 and up, 18 and up. Doesn't matter. So, in that sense, I can understand where Bill's coming from. Alright? And the one thing that I will admit, though, that I am a bit concerned about is all the times when Bill would stream, me, his viewers, even some of the other moderators, would spam in the chat certain things that were in the queue. Like, oh, there's gore in the queue. There's NSFW in the queue. Ronnie in the queue. And he doesn't take the time to read the chat warning him about these things that are in the queue, and then he just lets them play. And that's why he has to end his streams, because he doesn't want to get banned on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick. And this is why we have told Bill many times, you need a media share mod. Because if you don't have one, then more and more people are going to come up to you and say, you're a horrible person, you're aware that minors watch your streams, and you're introducing them to these disgusting things, you're a pedophile, you're this, you're that. And there was one time when Bill actually said to me during a sleep stream that he had thoughts of making me a media share mod. Never happened. And the one day he said, I'm not giving my moderators my personal information so they can be media share mods. And if any more moderators ask to help with the media shares, I am unmodding all of you. Basically threatening to demod all of his moderators that talk about wanting to be a media share mod. When in reality, it could help him. It would help him as a streamer, as a content creator. The fact that you're not even willing to do anything about it, that raises concerns. Because not only are you endangering the lives of minors by introducing them to this kind of stuff, you're also putting your YouTube channel and your Twitch at risk. And you've been banned on YouTube and on Twitch many, many times because of these media shares. And you can delete the stream VODs all you want. That's not going to hide the fact that you're putting other people's lives in danger. You're scarring minors. And you're putting your streaming career and your social media career at risk. Do you really want to get canceled because of all these things that you're doing and that people are accusing you of doing? You're a great person, Bill. You really are. But just the fact that you're letting all these things happen, that's why people are saying negative things about you. Bill Jensen blocked me. Well, Bill Jensen blocks anybody at this point. He blocks people who troll him. He blocks people who say disgusting things about him and his family. He blocks people who say that they hate when you play CS2 or God knows what. You mentioned Waffle Pone. What? Oh boy. Alright, I'll bring up the story, even though I told the story many, many times. And I know there are probably people from the community who are watching my stream right now because I have 14 viewers, which as a small streamer and a small content creator, that's a lot. So, and I have the gameplay off because I'm trying to talk to you guys. And I'll probably be ending my stream roughly around 6:30 my time. So whatever I don't get to saying today, I'll probably say next time. Maybe tomorrow if I'm not too busy. Because I did promise you guys that I will play Life is Strange this weekend. The final episode. And let me talk about that for a minute. You know, Bill hates Life is Strange. Because all he can think about is Max and Chloe Price kissing. Let me tell you, I've played through almost all 5 episodes of Life is Strange. And I'm here to tell you right here, right now, Max and Chloe kiss one time. One time throughout the whole series. Or the whole first season. Or first game. And that was only because Chloe dared Max to kiss her. And she did. And she thought that she had some big cojones kissing her. That's it. And it was only for like a second or two. So all those videos of Chloe and Max making out, they're all fake. They're all fan-made videos. Okay? They're not really lesbians. I believe Chloe has the hots for somebody. Max has the hots for Warren. Like, it's the whole thing. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. So, you want to mention the Waffle Pone situation? Here's what happened. So, back in 2023, Steven and Jack did a call-in stream where they asked viewers on their Discord what their New Year's resolutions were for 2023. And I got called in on that stream. And Steven and Jack, they were asking me all the different resolutions I had that year. And I said that I wanted to learn to control my anger because I will admit I have a bad temper. Hence why you guys have seen me crash out on stream a couple times. I wanted to get out of Buffalo Wild Wings because I just couldn't stand working there. And the dumbass that I am, the one resolution that I said that I had for 2023 was that I wanted to get my driver's license. And I feel like by me doing that, it made a lot of people ask questions and whatnot. And I felt like I couldn't be myself in the Waffle Pone streams without people constantly asking me over and over and over again about my damn license. And it became this whole thing. And yeah, sure, they were happy when I passed my permit test. But then after that, it all went downhill from there. They mocked me when I failed my driving test twice. They mocked me when I got into that car accident 2 years ago. Like, they took my downfalls regarding this whole license bullshit, and they mocked me because of it. I feel like present day, I can't win. They bully me and antagonize me because I don't have it, and they're going to bully and antagonize me when I do get it. Like, when I do pass my test and I do get my license, they're going to say, oh, you're going to crash into another car. You're going to get T-boned again. You should get your license revoked. You shouldn't be having a license in the first place. Blah, 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 blah. And I get that Steven and Jack, not only are they streaming on YouTube, they're also streaming on Kick. And they're doing this whole clean slate thing where a lot of the fallen waffles who've gotten banned from the YouTube streams, they can come back on Kick. It's not a risk worth taking, no matter how many people want me to comment on the Kick streams. Because I know what's going to happen. if I comment on the kick streams, they're gonna jump me. The members in the kick chat are gonna jump me. Steven and Jack, they're gonna call me on Discord. They're gonna say, what's up, my guy? How you doing? Say, do you have your driver's license yet, my guy? We haven't had an update from you in a long time, my guy. Where's your license? And they would just constantly ask me shit like that about the damn license. It won't stop. They bully me because of how I got fired my last job, which I'd rather not go too in depth about because it brings back horrible memories. And Steven and Jack have this thing called a bounty board, where if you've not been banned from the Waffle Pone streams, it costs $50 to get you banned from the streams. Kick, YouTube, doesn't matter. And then people can chime in at any time. People can chime in at any time to... So I'm losing my train of thought here. People can chime in at any time to raise the bounty or lower it. However much that person's bounty was before it got paid off, that's how much it will cost to re-ban them from the streams. And I have the highest YouTube bounty out of everybody who has been banned from the YouTube streams. Because I had teased that I wanted to get banned. Because I felt like a loser, felt like an outcast. I felt like everybody in the Waffle Pone community hated me. Like Jesse's Mansion, Time for Colby, Pace, Steven, Jack. Everybody in the Waffle Pone community. Because of different reasons. When I was still unemployed at the time, the license situation. Jack wanted to say that I allegedly cheated in Scribble.io when it never happened. The thing with that is, this is back when me and Super King were still friends. Me, him, and a few other people, we were playing Scribble because Jack was doing a Scribble.io stream. It was Jack's turn to draw something. And he had a 2-word prompt, 3 letters in each word, and immediately I guessed Pac-Man. Before Jack even had the chance to draw Pac-Man. And it became this big thing where Steven thought that me and Super King, we were cheating. I have a Chrome extension that says the possible answers for if a prompt is being drawn, blah, 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 blah. And everybody was like, you better not let... And I hate saying my old username because Waffle Pone is one of the reasons why I changed my username on YouTube, but just for this instance, I will say it. They're like, oh, Trollinator better not be playing Scribble with you guys because all he does is cheat. He cheats at Scribble, and he better not come to the kick streams either, because if he does, we're going to pay $50 to ban that no-licensed loser. And there are 3 reasons why I changed my name on YouTube and on Discord. Waffle Pone being the number 1 reason. Number 2, because I didn't want to feel awkward if I'm promoting my channel around my friends or whatnot. And the 3rd reason being because I felt like my username was slightly misleading because I didn't do as much trolling as I would have wanted. So yeah. Sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. That's just that's Fortnite. I'm trying to turn it down so you guys don't hear it as much. I'm gonna try to lower my microphone so you guys don't hear my PS5 audio. Let's see. What was you guys saying? Charlie, yes, I do have Facebook, but I don't really use it as much. Will this affect you posting Bill Jensen related vids? Because I see a few Bill Jensen videos from you. Um, Probably not. Well, I did step down as moderator for his streams and his Discord. I will still support him in any way I can. Like, in 2024, before I went back to posting YTPs, when all I did was post clips and build streams, not only was it a way of expressing that I was not in the right mental state and not in the right headspace to post content, I wanted to keep my channel up and show my viewers that I'm not dead. I'm just not okay mentally because of how Waffle Opponent treated me. They treated me like shit. You know? So I'm just replying to something. But then over time, I gained the confidence to make YTPs again. I gained the confidence to make the kind of content that I wanted to post again. And yeah. And I just hate how, like, even though I'm an adult and I'm an autistic adult, I feel like a lot of people like talking down to me and treat me like I'm a child. I hate that. Like, I like to be treated as an adult, as a human being, not as some toy to be thrown around. I want to be treated with respect. That's all I want. I get it. Respect is earned, not given, but, you know, I don't know what Callum's Corner is. Bort, I'm gonna watch your stream after I'm done catching up with the YouTube chat. And then I'll do one more Fortnite game before I end my stream. I'm not raiding anybody. There's no. I only raid friends. I don't really like raiding anybody big on Twitch. So yeah. I think the reason Bill doesn't swear in his streams is because of the fact he's a fictional character played by Shane. Oh, here's the thing. He said because he hears a lot of people swearing nowadays, that's why he does it a bit more often. And he only swears when he's being pressured. Like, I've heard him say the F word many times. I've heard him say shit. I heard him say the C word a couple times. Like, I've heard him say many different cuss words on stream. And I've clipped a couple of those instances when he has. And his justification is that, he was upset because of what somebody's done or said. I mean, Bill did say because his health is declining and because of everything that people have been saying about him, that's why he's leaving the internet and stepping down. I don't know if he is going to step down or just stop streaming altogether. We'll see what the future holds for him. Yeah, I love Waffle Pone too. Well, I got banned from the streams and banned from the YouTube. No, I got banned from the YouTube streams. I got banned from the Discord. Didn't get banned from the Kick streams because I am not going to chat in their streams. If I chatted on their YouTube stream... I keep saying YouTube. If I chat on their Kick streams, shit's going to go down. Okay? If I follow them on Kick, if I type in their chat, things will go bad. Okay? It's like me opening up Pandora's box. Not worth it. And besides, they don't even talk about me as much on the streams anymore. They only talk about me when other people continuously talk about me or if I put myself on blast. And I don't even do the latter anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Because every time I do, things go bad. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. You want to start a YouTube channel? Well, what kind of content do you want to post? It all depends on that factor. What do you want to post? And then just base your channel around that. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Anyway, so let me read the rest of the chat before I go. This only feels like a three-sided problem when it comes to flaws of Bill Jensen, his streams, and his community. No, I'm not saying Bill's a bad person. Neither am I. Okay, just like what I said with Uni before. Okay, I just want Bill to do two things, 4 words. Do better, be better. Okay? He knows where his flaws lie. I just hope that Bill does get better. Okay? Better as a person, better as a streamer. I hope his health gets better. I hope everything about him gets better. Because I don't want to see this decline in Bill. You guys don't want to see this decline in Bill. Yet here we are. This is the fate that we're stuck with, you know? Yeah. It's not easy when it comes to seeing everything that happens in Bill's streams. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. You know? Especially with the questionable donations and jokes. Yeah, I agree. A lot of things that people say, a lot of the edgy jokes that people make on the streams, like, the people who make these questionable jokes about Bill, they need help. They need therapy. Because the fact that you're going out of your way to say disgusting things about Bill and his family, it just shows the type of sick, twisted individual that you are. You probably had a troubled childhood and a troubled youth. So you're passing that down on to Bill. Like, what goal are you trying to accomplish by doing that? Seriously. It's concerning. Hello, Better Bill Jensen AI covers. I'm just about to end my stream. I drifted away from Waffle Porn right around that same time. They don't consider other situations. Yeah, well, here's the thing, okay? People want to talk about, oh, Bill doesn't care about his viewers. He only cares about money. That same fate happens with Waffle Porn. They don't care about their viewers. They don't care if they're bullying people online. They don't care if their mods are bullying people online. All they care about is money. Money, money, money. Because drama equals content. Drama equals profit. If they can make money off of other people's pain and suffering, other people's drama and nonsense, then it'll make them happy. Because they feel like they can pursue a career doing this shit while pursuing actual careers. I don't know what the hell kind of job Jack has. All I know is Steven has a job at that damn factory. And that's it. I don't know anything else besides that. And quite frankly, I don't even care where Jack and Steven are employed. I'm sorry, I'm just... Steven and Jack... Yeah, well, I don't care about them either, okay? Like, I liked Waffle Pone before they streamed. I liked them before they even considered streaming. Back when they just did Greatest Freakout videos. But now they've completely changed for the worst. And you're absolutely right. Doxing Bill does make you a terrible person. He's been doxed and swatted many times. And people find it funny. What's so funny about doxing somebody? Putting their life and their family's life in danger. Nothing. There's nothing comical or amusing about putting someone's life on the line like that. If you do that, you are a sick individual. Sick. S-I-C-K. Sick. Okay. What else you guys saying? I don't feel like having a webcam, Shino2. I never have a webcam in my streams. I never feel like having a webcam on my streams. This is my stream setup. If you don't like it, well then too bad. This is just how I stream. Anyways, I'll do one more Blitz Royale game on stream. Audio is going to be back on. And then after that, I'm getting off. Sorry that this stream is a bit more on the serious side, not so much on the entertaining side. It's just, there was a lot that I needed to get out of my chest. Yeah, it's just, this stream, I wanted it to be a bit more on the serious side because of everything that's been going on with Bill. And I just feel bad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the streams. I feel bad for everything that has transpired as of recently. And I hope you're going to win too, Shino2. I really do. And by the way, I want to thank you for teaching me about synergies in Gotcha. I used to write stuff to Waffle Phone. Wait, are you talking about the manifestos that they used to do on Reddit? I remember when they used to look at the Reddit. I don't even look at it anymore. No, that's fine. No, times have changed. Look, Waffle Phone is not a good channel anymore. It's not the same as it once was, 3 years ago. They've fallen off. They've changed. They're chopped, as some people like to say. Hold on. Screen froze. What? Hold on. Let me check OBS. Oh shit, it did. Hold on. Hold on. Let me fix that. There we go. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Here. There you go. I fixed it. So it's all good now. I tried to talk as much because I feel like when I'm talking to you guys and playing, I get distracted. Well, I won yesterday, and that's good enough for me. I'm not going to have a lot of time to play games later because I'll be busy with other things. But, yeah, the screen froze, but I fixed it. So, I don't know why. Sometimes that happens with my games. Anyways, I'm going to get off. Sorry this stream is a bit more on the serious side. Just there's a lot that I needed to get off my chest. A lot I wanted to get off my chest. So that said, if I have the time tomorrow, I will stream Life is Strange Episode 5. If I don't have the time, I'll stream it whenever I can. Maybe on Sunday, Monday, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, well, Steven and Jack don't like me either, just like what Steven says about me. Anyway, I'm gonna get off. I got some stuff I need to do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Now, I'm not rating anybody on Twitch either. Take care of yourselves. Stay humble, stay awesome. God bless.